My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel. So strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Malcolm and Obama, yeah, and Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. Better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, 'cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah, oh. Where would we be without you? Yeah, you brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama, and Jesus too. Oh, she is sophisticated, strong, yeah, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful. Not only that you are educated, yes you are, eccentric, empowering. You're mine, she's a queen. You're mine, you're my. Treat her like no price could be put on how much she's worth. So valuable, she's the soul of the earth. Yeah. All a part of God's genius plan. Powerful as she can be, the man's ATLP. Strong, simply amazing. She is humble, honest, and helpful. What I like about her is she's educated. She's my ebony, empowering. Yeah. She's my queen. Sophisticated, strong, simply amazing. She's amazing to me. If you ever had one, she's educated, she's my queen. She built me up, she keeps me going now. Sophisticated, strong. She's my queen.
Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing? I pray that you're having a great day. Here I am popping in again just to share with you what's on my heart. Please invite some others to come in and to be a part of this discussion this afternoon. Hopefully, I can get some folk to come on here with me at this time in the day. Hope your year is going well. Hope your day is amazing. I really pray that you're doing good. That's my prayer for you. That's my sincere prayer for you, that God will grant you all of the blessings that you may need, and God will open doors for you that you can't believe. That's my prayer for you. Now, I want to deal with this today because it was a thought that came to me as I was sitting here. It's a thought that just kind of resonated with me. Your insecurity is costing you your destiny. Because we are all on our way somewhere. All of us, we're all on our journey to a place called destiny. And what is destiny? It's a place, it's a manifestation of oneself that ultimately reveals why God put you on the planet. Destiny is when purpose aligns with actions, aligns with inner thoughts, and there's just this perfect alignment between what the Creator thought and what you're actually producing. Well, if there's anything that can rob a person of a destiny moment, is insecurity. And all of us have them, you know what I mean? We all struggle with insecurities. I've had mine. One of my insecurities has been, and to some extent still is, to a lesser extent, and that is, believe it or not, public speaking. It takes a lot for me to stand up, and that's how I live my life, right? Speaking in front of audiences, not because that's a great desire of mine. It never has been. Not because I just have all of the confidence in the world. No, I speak publicly because I realize that the Creator's original idea of me is best manifested or suited for or actualized through public speaking. It's a major part of who I am and why God created me. So when we think about purpose, we have to also shift our thinking. Your purpose is not necessarily something you will desire or will necessarily be comfortable with. But to fulfill your purpose means that you will many times have to overcome your personal insecurities. By nature, I'm an introvert. I'm a person that can very easily stay in my room, stay to myself, and never have interaction with the world most of the time. But my purpose calls for me to be an extrovert. So I've had to learn how to come out of my shell and to show up and to smile and to enjoy it. I actually enjoy my life. But if I were to live my life just based on my, base profile, and if I were to give in to my personal allotment of insecurities, I would never hit a button and talk to people on a camera. I would never stand up and accept engagements to go and speak before thousands of people, hundreds of people, some occasions, thousands at other. I would never accept that. But I realized that my insecurities were working overtime to abort my destiny. And there's some of you that are listening to me right now. Your insecurities are getting in the way of the best version of you, the person you know you were born to be, designed to be, the person God has gifted you to be, equipped you to be, you're allowing your insecurities to stop you. And I'm here today to say to you, it's time for you to overcome these insecurities. Now, let's get some definition. Insecurity. Insecurity is a feeling of uncertainty, a lack of confidence or assurance that can cause a person to doubt their abilities. Have you ever been there? Where your feelings of uncertainty, your lack of confidence, or lack of assurance causes you to doubt your abilities, your decisions, and even your worth. It's an emotional state that reflects a vulnerability and anxieties about oneself and one's place in the world. And there are a lot of you that are listening to me right now who are being held prisoner. Your gifting is being held prisoner to your insecurity. Your talent is being held prisoner to your insecurity. Your abilities are being held prisoner to your insecurity. Now, what are some reasons that people are insecure? Because we have a lot of insecure people. And when you realize the depths, that insecurity travels to, it will also give you grace for people that you deal with probably on your job, probably in your family, in certain communities that you may be a part of. A lot of times people are acting out, and it seems like they're acting out towards you, when the reality is it's just their personal insecurity manifesting. Like when a person's insecurities are way out of hand, it's a challenge for them to celebrate your sense of confidence. And what happens is when they're dealing with you, it seems like they are hating on your sense of confidence, when the reality is they're stumbling over their own insecurity. It really has many times nothing to do with you. Like sometimes we think that a person is jealous of us, when the reality is, if you look deeper, it's not that they're jealous of you as much as they're sad for themselves. Because they know that they could and should be exactly where you are, but for the insecurities that they keep stumbling over. What causes these insecurities in us? Well, let me ask you a question before I go further. Do you have any insecurities? Do you have any insecurities? I gave you one of mine. I'm really insecure about standing in front of people. And I'm always somewhat embarrassed even. And it's not so much that I don't struggle with the imposter syndrome anymore. I used to. I own it now. But I'm always somewhat embarrassed when people tell me about how impactful my message is. I'm always somewhat embarrassed. I used to not only be embarrassed, I would be ashamed, because I would feel like, oh, I'm an imposter, and these people don't know I'm really not all. Well, I realized that I am that person. God created me to be that person, but my insecurity is, but I don't allow my insecurity to dominate my life. Am I the only one, or are there others that have insecurities? Well, where do these things come from? Past experiences. Number one, past experiences. Traumatic events or negative feedback from the past can be internalized and result in lasting feelings of inadequacy. This is why it's vital that we monitor what we say to children, because the words you use with little kids will live in them in a lot of cases to when they become old individuals, old people. And a lot of kids will never overcome some of the hurtful and negative words that you or we pour into them. Most children are struggling to overcome their past, the past they could not control, the past that their parents or their guardians inflicted upon them with negative words or negative experiences. A lot of folk who are struggling with insecurities right now are struggling because of past experiences. Number two, comparison with others. That's one of the things that I try to get women to see, that men, one of the games that men play on women, and that is men will intentionally pit one woman against another, compare one woman to another woman, making one woman doubt herself based on another woman's profile. And the woman is not even aware that this game is going on. And so he'll pit a black woman against a white woman against a black woman. The two can't be one another. But he'll create insecurities in the white woman based on the black woman's profile. He'll create insecurities in the black woman based on the white woman's profile, because it's intentional. When a woman becomes insecure, she's emotionally manageable, especially by the man that planted the seed of insecurity through comparisons. With the prevalence of social media, comparing oneself to others' highlights, another person's highlights, can foster feelings of falling short. When you look at everybody's Instagram, nobody's showing you nobody's showing you the real deal with their lives. They're showing you all of the best parts, and a lot of those parts are fabricated. All of the cars that they're riding around in. Sometimes those cars are rented. Sometimes they just happen to be by somebody else's car, posing for a picture next to a certain kind of car, and you're trying to figure out, why am I driving this hoopty? They're driving one too. They'll go into the mall and they'll put on these people's clothes and they'll take pictures right there in the, they'll blur the background out. They'll take pictures in all of these, high fashion outfits, just trying it on. And you sitting there, you're looking at all of this stuff and you're comparing yourself to this and you're like, what's wrong with me? Babe, you can always be insecure as long as you're comparing yourself to people. I don't look at nobody outside of me. I'm in competition with no one but me. Come on now. I'm in competition with the best version of me today versus the best version yesterday. I'm just trying to get better, become a better me every day. I'm not trying to compare myself to nobody. I'm not trying to look like nobody. That's why it is what it is. I'm the age I am. I'm the color I am. I'm the shape I am. I'm the height I am. And if you don't like it, God bless you, go on up the street, because I'm good with me. Right? That's why some days y'all see me, I have all this blacked out when I feel like dyeing it. Sometimes I'm like I am now. I'm just going to let it go white until I get tired of looking at it, because it is what it is. I'm not going to be around here comparing myself to other people. I'm not going to be around here trying to make my face look younger to compete with younger men. Like a lot of women, you're doing all this stuff to your face, trying to compete with, babe, you are the age you are. Do that gracefully. Don't make yourself look all strange. People can't even recognize you. You out here trying to look like you 25 when you 50. You 50. Be 50. Be a good-looking 50-year-old woman. Own it. Walk in your confidence. Stop comparing yourself to all of these children. These people are young enough to be your daughters. Your skin is not supposed to look like hers. Hers ain't gonna look like that long. She don't know it yet. Come on now, but don't disfigure yourself out here trying to make yourself. You trying to give yourself black woman lips and all this kind of, oh my God. Are you trying to cut your lips down and look like a European? You ain't got no European lips. You ain't got no African lips. Don't do all that stuff to yourself. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone. But comparisons with others will create insecurity. Fear of failure or rejection will create insecurity. It's the dread of not meeting expectations or being shunned leads to self-doubt and hesitancy. It's feeling the need to fit into groups. It's feeling the need to fit into groups. I don't feel a need to fit into groups. I don't. I really don't. I don't care. I don't care if y'all accept me. That's why I never pledged, I ain't kicking against nobody that has, but I never pledged for no fraternity. No, I'm not doing all that. I'm not jumping through all these hoops to fit into your group and all this. I mean, people that want to do that, that's good. But I've always been one that could stand on my own. Not that people that pledge can't stand on their own. It's for some, it's not for others. I've just always been that kind of guy, and I still am that guy. I'm very good with rocking out by myself. I'm not trying to fit into your group, so I'm not trying to please you. I'm not trying to make you happy. I'm not trying to get your approval. I'm really not. Now, if you like me, great. I love being liked. But I'm also cool with not being liked. And I'm even better with rocking out by myself. I really am. So I don't have insecurities about, I wonder if they're pleased. I wonder if they're going to let me in. I wonder if they like me. Number 4, where does insecurity come from? Perfectionism. We talk about this one a lot. Striving for unreachable standards can cause a constant sense of failing, feeding insecurity. When you have this perfectionism spirit on you, I'm not trying to be perfect. I sent out, many of you are on my mailing list, right? Well, a few weeks ago, I sent out an email blast. And, the way we do that is I figure out, okay, this is what I want to say to our community. I give it to Lisa. Sometimes, it's early in the morning, before we've even gotten out of bed. I say, this is what I want you to send. And so I'll shoot it to her. She got 1,000,001 things going on. We ain't got time to send it around to staff, a team, to proofread and all of that. My community knows me, period. So I'm not trying to punctuate everything perfectly, and I'm just not trying to do that. I just want to get the message and send it, and hopefully, it blesses somebody. Well, this particular day, it was one of these days we had a lot going on. I shot it to her real quick, and then she shot it out to the email group of like 50,000 people, something like that. And, my little tagline is on top, going higher, right? Well, I put that at the end of the email, just talking about overcoming the spirit of perfectionism. And some of y'all got it because some of y'all sent me some laughing emojis back and all of that. Well, the tagline reads on top and going higher. Going as in G-O-I-N-G. Well, I made a mistake, and instead of putting the G for going, I put a H. And so you can phonetically figure out how that read, on top and higher. And so people sending me all of these emojis laughing. Man, you know what I did? I laughed. Because I'm not trying to be perfect. I'm just trying to be effective. I'm not trying to be perfect. Anybody that would take a human moment and make a big deal out of it, well, you ain't for me no way. A lot of you are insecure because you're struggling with the spirit of perfectionism. You have not learned how to embrace your own humanity. You're striving for unreachable standards. And this can cause a constant sense of failing, which also feeds insecurity. Number 5, the 5th thing that causes insecurity is a lack of affirmation. Not receiving positive reinforcement for one's identity and accomplishments can foster insecurity. And I think this is where most of our insecurities come from. You know, we have not been affirmed. Most of us have not been affirmed. Now, I thank God because this guy right over here, that's my dad, that guy affirmed me, man. You know, he really did. He made me believe I could do anything. Nothing was impossible. He called me a great man when I was a kid. He told me that I would speak literally to the world when I literally was a kid. He poured confidence into me. Most folk do not have that, and most folks' insecurities stem from the lack of affirmation, not receiving the positive reinforcement for your identity. Now, let's talk about 5 ways insecurity hinders progress, because, you know, our theme today is your insecurity is robbing you of your destiny. Number 1, when you don't get a handle on your insecurities, you will live a life, this is why it will rob you of your destiny. You will live a life of procrastination and indecision. You will live a life of procrastination and indecision. How many of us are just fiddling around, won't pull a trigger, won't make a decision, won't step into it, constantly procrastinating? You know, the Bible says in James 1:8, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. This highlights how indecision can halt progress. A double-minded man is unstable in all of his ways. If you don't get a handle on your indecision, if you don't come clear with who you really are as the Creator defined you, and you're still toiling with what God says about you versus what your ex-man said or your ex-woman said, and the negativity the narcissist poured into you, and you're caught up between what the world says, what God says, what they said, you'll never pull a trigger. You'll never have the confidence to actually be decisive, and your insecurity will rob you of your destiny. Jim Rohn said, indecision is the thief of opportunity. How many of you would have had great opportunity or had great opportunities but never took advantage of them because you were always indecisive because of your insecurity? I wonder if I can do it. I wonder if I'm good enough. Man, look, good enough or not, I'm going. I'm shooting for this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. And that's the spirit you got to have. You got to recognize that for whatever reason this insecurity is in you, that this insecurity is robbing you through procrastination and indecision, robbing you of vital opportunities. Yeah. Number 2, second reason insecurity will rob you of your destiny is because insecurity will breed fear of taking risk. Fear of taking risk. You know, a person with a strong inner constitution, a person with a lot of self-esteem and a lot of confidence, does not mind taking risk. You know why? It's because that person can suffer disappointment without it redefining them. You know, when a person has a high self-esteem, They can try something, and if it doesn't work, they can laugh at themselves. When a person's self-esteem is not as high as it needs to be, they will always shy away from taking risks. They want to always take the sure route. They want to take, the path of least resistance, because they don't know if they can take a disappointment of it not working out 100%. You got to overcome that. There's something now I'm reading in the comments, and I can hear, just knowing people and people's experiences, that a lot of what creates this insecurity in us that prevents us from being able to step into risk or makes us procrastinate is due to poor to no parenting, right? Well, there's a point in our lives where we have to come to a point where we can look back on our lives and we can say, I did not have the best parenting. They did not provide what I really needed. We got to forgive them for, and of course that's a personal thing, but ultimately we got to forgive them for not providing what we need. But now we got to make certain that we don't fail ourselves, because there's a point when you're conscious enough to look back over your life and you're conscious enough to say, I didn't get what I needed from my parent or parents. Now you got to give yourself what you need. And when you wake up and you realize that poor parenting has put you in a position where you fear taking risk, you have to somehow work your way through that. It goes back to the stewardship of your own life and talents. In Matthew chapter 25, verses 25 and 26 is where we'll lock in, but you have the parable of the stewards. 3 of them were given allotments by the master. 2 of them invested and increased it. 1 of them was afraid and he hid it. And when the man came back to see what they had done, he rewarded those that increased it because they invested what he had given. To the one that was scared to invest and hid it, he called him wicked, and he took what he had from him. That's what's happening with us when we are operating with a fear of risk. You will never maximize your potential. You will never actualize as long as you're struggling with insecurity that does not allow you to step into life, with the ability to take calculated risk. One person said, the greatest risk in life is not taking one. Number 3, the reason insecurity will hinder your ability to manifest destiny is because, number 3, insecurity always, good to see you, Lois, Felicia. Insecurity will always render it very difficult for you to build relationships. You cannot build relationships when you're insecure. It's going to be hard for you to develop friendships because your insecurity is going to always be misunderstood or misread. Like I just gave you the example, a lot of times the energy you produce when your friends are experiencing the life you wish you had, or you deserve, or desire is a better word, but you've not been able to manifest it because of insecurities, well, the energy you'll come out with will seem to them like jealousy, when it's many times not jealousy at all. It's just a sadness for yourself. It's not a jealousy about their advancement. It's a sadness for yourself. That's what insecurity does to our relationships. And for some of you, that's a revelation. You've been trying to figure out, why do your friendships not work? Why don't your romantic situations not work? It's because your insecurity is always misunderstood. It misrepresents you. Proverbs chapter 18, 24 teaches that one must show themselves friendly in order to have friends, but insecurity can block that openness. You know, when you're insecure, you're not as sociable. That can be read as what? Standoffish. You know what they say. You know, your lack of smiling is a lot of times it's shyness, but it's read as what? Arrogance. Because when you're insecure, it will always render you incapable of building, or make it difficult, should I say, to build relationships. Bo Taplin says, we are all so desperate to be understood, we forget to be understanding. Number four. I only have 5. Insecurity will cancel destiny because it will make you resistant to change. People that are insecure don't want change. They want things to maintain the status quo. They don't want change. They want things to just stay as is. It makes you resistant to change. When you're insecure, you do not want a lot of change. Isaiah 43:19 expresses God's promise to do a new thing. He says, I will do a new thing. Shall ye not know it? God promises to do a new thing, but yet insecurity often hinders us from embracing new beginnings. You know, you got a great guy right now that's pursuing you, and you can't even give him the kind of energy that says, you're welcome, you know, I'm open to you, because you're so insecure that this guy is going to end up doing to you what the last guy did. So you're effectively living your romantic life in the past. Though you desire to have a relationship emotionally, your insecurities have you stuck in the past. And so you're making this present guy pay for another man's sins or another woman's sins. It could be vice versa, right? But when you're insecure, you resist change. One man said, change is the essence of life. Be willing to surrender what you are for what you could become. Hercules, Hercules, Hercules. Number 5, and I'm done. Greetings from Kenya, Gentrix. God bless you. I hope to see you in Kenya. Probably in 25. I hope to see you in Kenya. If not 24, we don't know. But number 5, and finally, if you don't deal with your insecurity, the reason it will rob you of your destiny is because it erodes your self-confidence. Your insecurities are eroding your self-confidence. Insecurity won't let you believe in yourself. Insecurity won't let you believe in your God. You just don't have the confidence that you can do it or that it can happen for you. That's what insecurity does to us. And the Bible says in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, which what? Counters the self-doubt that insecurity breeds. So these are my thoughts today and my prayers that you've seen something in here, because insecurity can be a significant obstacle to realizing one's potential and walking the destiny path. And by overcoming insecurity, by overcoming our insecurities, one may not only progress personally and professionally even, but also live a more content and fulfilling life. So my prayer is that you have gotten something out of my little conversation today Don't forget to go to the website, rcblakes.com, sign up for the mailing list. Don't forget to check out all of the online programs while you're there. Don't forget to look in the description. If you need counseling of any kind, BetterHelp Counseling, check out the link there. If you use that link, it'll afford you 10% off of the cost of their counseling, and they in turn will make a deposit into RC Blakes Ministries. If you've not registered for Queenology, do that now at queenology.net. Just know that Lisa and I love you. This was an impromptu situation today. I really hope that you've gotten something out of this. Just know that Lisa and I love you with all of our hearts. You all are our family, you all are our community, and we're raising royal consciousness, one conversation at a time. Isn't that amazing? That's our mission in life, to raise royal consciousness, one conversation at a time. Share this with everybody that you know. Till next time, I'm RC Blakes. See you at the top.
My queen, my queen. Oh, she. Beautiful, wonderfully made. She's heaven's angel, so strong, even in struggle, yeah. When life comes like a storm from every angle, she rises above it all, the backbone of every home. Nothing compares to all she do. The true meaning of every family. She's the glue. Yeah. Where would we be without you? You brought us Martin, Malcolm, and Obama. Yeah. And Jesus too. Oh, she's sophisticated, strong, simply amazing, humble, honest, and helpful, educated, ebony, eccentric, empowering. She's a queen, she's a queen. You better treat her like a queen. Oh, Her strength is amazing. Life inside, 9 months she's carrying. Back to work, cause the family she's carrying. Society don't give her just due, but she prevails and stands tall. A champion, a true woman. But nothing compares to all she do. Yeah, the true meaning of it.